I think I might have found me a blast from the past over here. Let's go see. Sure did. Oh man. Oh man. Oh man, it's even got an engine in it. Too bad it don't have a header. Got the wrong transmission. Just for proof, 56. You look real close, you can see my name. Holy cow. Long time no see, you rust bucket. Hey guys, we're on a trip, but before I get to where we're going, I'll give you a little bit of background on the rust bucket. That is the second race car that I ever owned. It is the car that I got my first heat race in, and a lot of good finishes. That car would make somebody a very good beginning four-cylinder car. Or some guys, or somebody in the past, after I owned it, set it up with a 305 and ran it as a factory stock. Not saying that you couldn't, but I'm going to tell you, that would be a good beginning car for somebody to start with. Like I said, I got my first heat race win. Pretty much all but one of my heat race wins in that car. Several second and third place finishes. Now with the engine setup I ran, I was either bad fast or I was broke. That's why I never got any feature wins in that car. But it's available at DoubleD Motorsports in Farmington, Missouri. Daryl Dickerson has it. Very good price on it. If you're interested, you can get in contact with him. It does have an engine transmission in it. It does need a little bit of work to be raceable, but overall it is almost exactly how it was whenever I got rid of it. You know, as you guys see, it's still got my old number on the deck plate. Granted, part of it's missing and all that, but most of the car is still there from when I raced it. And I will say, I was very tempted to trade Intimidator in on that car just to get it back, but I talked myself out of it. So, but if you're interested in that car, you can get a hold of Daryl Dickerson at DoubleD Motorsports. He's the one that has it. You can wheel and deal with him, try to figure something out on it, and in the future we're going to end up going up to DoubleD Motorsports and kind of checking out what he has going on. It's a very unique setup and very good for the budget racer like myself. So we'll be heading that up in the future. So you might be wondering what we're doing on a road trip. Simple. Old Stroker sent me a link to a Facebook Marketplace deal. Just can't pass up. Not really in my budget for the week, but I can't pass it up. And what it is 2 wiring harnesses and 2 computers to do our LS swap. We're going to buy two of them, simply because if one fails, we got a backup. You know, we're doubled up on wiring harnesses and computers. It looks promising to be what we need. I'm not breaking the bank going to get it. That's why I'm doing it. So, like I said, I couldn't get rid of Intimidator and get the old rust bucket back. I just want to see this LS project through. It's been on my mind to do it for a while, and I just can't pass it up. Intimidator is just a perfect candidate for it. Some people might not like it in the racing community. I think it is the replacement to the crate engine classes, because the crate engines have just gotten out of control. They're very affordable. They're in the junkyards. block Chevy, your 305s, your 350s, they're getting harder and harder to find at your junkyards. And then you got to put out a couple $1,000s to build an engine just about. Now, I'm talking about from scratch. If you blow an engine, you got to start from scratch. You're putting a couple thousand out to get it. So that's why we're going this route. That's why I wanted to go this route from the beginning, because it's just more budget friendly in my mind. And to add to the deal, it gives me a reason to get out and kind of stretch the legs on the lad wag a little bit. You know, it kind of gets cooped up driving back and forth, 10 miles one way and sitting all week. And occasionally go to town and get some gasoline put in it. Got about a 50, 60 mile drive up here. Really, for what this car is, I ain't beating on it hard up here, but we're getting 26.3 mile to gallon average, and most of that's actually short mileage. It's not a bad car. Look at the mileage on it. Just shy of 250,000 miles. Everything just scoots right along on this thing. And people wonder why I like these HHRs. First one is, I'm comfortable driving in this thing. I wouldn't be scared to jump in it. I feel like I can comfortably drive from New York City to Los Angeles in this car without getting uncomfortable. And two, it's got most of them come with a 2.2 liter 4-cylinder in it. These cars, they're cheap to work on, easy to work on for the most part. They're just a good engine. The 2.2 is my 4-cylinder go-to. And they get decent fuel mileage. And you fold that seat down, and that seat, you can easily fit 8-foot 2x4s in here, or 8-foot boards in here. And you ain't got to slide an 8-foot piece of plywood in here by any means, but you need to go pick up some 2x4s or 2x10s or whatever. You can easily haul them in here. It's just a universal car. It's a good man wagon, to tell you the truth. Especially like this car here, everything in the back is hard plastic. So I've hauled a Ford 9-inch in this car before. Fuel cells. It's just a great all-around car for a guy to have. Yeah, they might look cute on the outside, but who cares? When you pull up, you got a Ford 9-inch in the back hatch that you hauled in it comfortably. Who cares what people think? It still gets better fuel mileage than any pickup truck on the road. And not to brag or anything, but there's my medal from winning the outlaw class of the Pinewood Derby last week. But it's all in fun. That's all that matters. I could have cared less if I won or if I would have got my tail smoked, but it's cool to say that two cars come out of my shop, and I'm sure if I would have let little Daniel pick out a different car, he picked his car out, but if I would have made him pull out, say, the American Heat car that I built several years ago, if I had him pull that out, I wouldn't doubt that 3 cars that come out of my shop would have been 1, 2, 3 as far as winning goes. But yeah, it was definitely fun. A lot of people wonder why I'm obsessed with Pinewood Derby. It's just a fun thing to do out of something so simple. You can complicate it up. I'm a firm believer. You got to put a little work into them, make fast cars. And some of them kids put some work into it, or at least them and their parents did. Outlaw class is a perfect example, especially with my cars. All of my cars are legal to run the BSA Pinewood Derby rules. They're all 5 ounces. And we went through one cars that they had to wait on. And that's why a lot of people think you had to wait to these cars to make them faster. And that's not always the case, because you know, it takes a little brain power, a little, you know, thinking, a little science on it. But, you know, the added weight's going to add more friction. So you got to figure out where you're going to reduce your friction at to make adding weight worthwhile. So, you know, friction is an enemy when you don't have power to overcome it. Yeah, that's right. Ladwag's got all the miniature pony powers. Y'all know what's crazy? We go up there, get these wiring harnesses and computers, and spend more time talking about Pinewood Derby. Ain't that crazy? Yeah, I don't know what them old boys doing. They got them modified sitting out in the front yard. Yeah, it's just crazy. Go up there. He's got a lot going on because he's in the middle of building Pinewood Derby cars. Ain't that ironic? You know, there's a meme I always see on Facebook. You know, it looks similar to this, except for under the hood of a car. How these, you know, carburetor guys, that's how they see fuel injection. Well, you see it. These are, you can see we got 1, 2 computers, and this is 2 wiring harnesses. Hoping everything's there. If not, we can get our connectors and whatnot. But supposedly, from what he was saying, if something was snipped off, it wasn't needed anyway. So I don't know. You know, you guys probably know more than I do. But either way, hopefully at some point we'll get something set in there and we can start making progress on the LS stuff. You know, I would like to start the season off, or, you know, make my first appearance of the year at the track with an LS in. But, you know, if we end up with you know, if Jason helps us out with the regular small block, I mean, that gives us more time to get other stuff ready. You know, like a squirrel, you know, you gotta have all your nuts gathered up in the tree before you, whatever, you know, I don't know. Back to the rust bucket. That panhard bar right there actually belongs on the rear of that car. I told old Darryl I'll probably have a few pieces sitting around off of that car. I'll show you another piece that I got off of the original version of the car. That hood right there. That was the hood that was on the car the night I flipped it upside down out at Doe Run. Even though technically it's not the same car, it is the same car, because the cage and a lot of the parts came off of the car that went upside down, and we just moved it over to another car there. Okay, welcome back to the shop here, Lad's Garage. We've been here. Either way, Intimidator. Still don't have an engine in it, which we've been talking about, but kind of what we're, I don't know what's going on either. But either way, the old fuel cell there, we need to make repairs. You can see vice grips. The tech man probably won't like seeing vice grips holding the pickup tube up to the fuel cell to keep it from leaking. I mean, you know, nothing like vice grips and zip ties to, you know, keep your highly flammable fuel from leaking out all over the place, catching fire. The long story short, I think I got the right circle pieces. to fix the fitting to keep it from leaking like that. Thing first, yep. Fire putter outer's good. What we need to do is take this metal ring off that the fuel caps rest on. That needs to come off so that I can fit my arm down in there with a wrench and do that type of stuff, because with the cap on there, my arm gets I really don't get much further than my wrist. And it's just awkward in there. The hole itself might not be much bigger than the top of that, but at least I don't have them dadgum alligator teeth to bite me. I was going to show you guys the fix to my problem with the fuel cell, the pickup tube leaking. But I got in a hurry and I forgot to show you the new plastic washers. But I can show you what was left of the one plastic washer that was on it. That guy just wasn't making contact where it needed to be making contact at. And if this one's any indication to what the inside one, if there was an inside one, looked like, this guy here's just crumbling apart. I mean, you can just see it spitting off. No Beano. And another thing that I just found inside the fuel cell that has given me issues. Well, it is an issue, it isn't an issue at the same time. This guy here. This is the actual pickup tube that goes down in the fuel cell. You know, your fuel gets sucked up, pumped up to the front up yonder. Electricity goes through the spark plugs, and you know, you get the boom, boom, booms. But this guy here is not ideal. Normally you want a longer hose, which I think my last fuel cell, I think me and Jason put like 2 foot of hose down in the bottom of the fuel cell, and it coiled up and had washers and nuts and things like that zip tied to it to where it ain't gonna come off. And that keeps your pickup tube down in the bottom of the fuel cell, so you could literally be, you know, 1/4 gallon of fuel in the fuel cell and the car's still gonna go. Not with this. You know, if you watch my videos when we first tried getting this car going, we were low on fuel, wouldn't stay running. This guy here was the culprit. So I'm gonna dig around and see if I don't have any hose laying around before I stick my arm back. My arm's starting to turn red from being in the fuel cell, but I'm gonna see if I can't find something that'll go onto here versus just having that. We have everything all back together in this little area here. Note to self, open a garage door next time. Playing with the gas fumes got me feeling a little heavy. Oh man. But it needed done. My arm tingles too. About as red as my Milwaukee tools, to tell you the truth. I guess we got that all wrapped up. That's a big thing on my list. Hold on a second. Let's walk over here. This little guy here. Race, 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 race. Hey, our list is getting smaller. Oh man. We can mark off something on there, but I don't know. We gotta figure it all out, I tell you. Well, I suppose I ought to get somewhere where there's fresh air, because it ain't in here, I can tell you that. But we got our one chore that I've been needing to do for like ever, done finally. So I guess we're gonna go inside, get some fresh air. Mellow out, man. Be sure to hit the like, to subscribe, all that fun stuff on this channel. But also, go over and check out our Trucking Diaries channel too. That's where, you know, I kind of do all my trucking stuff at. You know, we just kind of go trucking around on that channel. Be sure to, you know, the subscribe button on both channels. It definitely helps us out. And who knows? Maybe one day we might be rich enough to, you know, to finish our LS swaps.